Hey, welcome back everybody. It's your host Red Kojak, and we're going to be discussing something today that I think is pretty big, and people might not realize how big it is, and that's in regards to the PS4 allowing the crossplay, starting with Fortnite. And I see a lot of people reporting about it, and there's a lot of great opinions, a lot of videos out there covering why this is, and just like a lot of games that are free to play that has such a big audience, like Fortnite, Minecraft, and the other, I can't think of the other one, Rocket League. Yeah, there we go, Rocket League. Those three in particular come to mind, but Fortnite is really the one that's paving the way. And a lot of people don't realize just what kind of strategic play this is, because Fortnite right now, and if you look at the statistics, Fortnite, of course, they mostly appeal to the younger audience, which will be the spenders of tomorrow. So if you get them in the mindset that crossplay is a natural part of the gaming ecosystem, as a kid, when these people grow up later on, they're going to be used to that in their life. It's almost as if we're so used to like cell phones and paved roads and just all these infrastructural things that we take for granted. But if we're supposed to take away cell phones, if we're supposed to take away paved roads and go back in time to like when we had horses and buggy and all those other stuff that were not set up infrastructurally in the past that we're used to now, if we're supposed to do that with this crossplay thing, skip ahead like 5 years, then people are going to be used to that. So people aren't aware that this is really laying the groundwork for something much bigger. And it's also making Fortnite a much more profoundly ingrained game in the system, or in a game ecosystem than people realize. And one of the other things that a lot of people are not really looking at is from the monetary aspect as to how Fortnite was able to get Sony to change their mind. And previously Sony was against the whole cross-platform because they didn't want Xbox to really encroach in their in their territory, because right now they're the console leader. But one thing a lot of people are not realizing is just how much financial might Fortnite has. And I did a video, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description, about that Fortnite is on track to either be close to 3.8 billion by the end of this year in terms of total revenue generated since its inception, or roughly about 3.1 billion. So that's the range, 3.1 billion minimum to like 3.8 billion, maybe even more depending on how much they sell, because that's something interesting. And the reason why I say that is because when I did that video, there are certain things that I didn't even factor in when I was doing that. And for one, I forgot that Fortnite just released a whole Monopoly special edition version, which I don't even know how much revenue they're going to make from that, but it's obviously going to be a good chunk, because Fortnite is so popular right now that kids are already playing it left and right. So imagine that not only is Fortnite able to make money when kids are playing Fortnite and buying skins, but they're looking to make money when kids are not playing it by them, maybe playing board games, or of course clothing. And then one of the things I didn't even mention in that video is that Fortnite, if they really want to even go further with this whole thing, they could really hop into the whole Pixar thing. Because if you look at their trailer for The Darkness Rises, I mean, they have the atmosphere for a Pixar movie. Like literally, all they have to do is flesh out solid characters with a solid story and have a Pixar level budget, and they could do like a whole Fortnite Pixar type movie, and kids would already line up to see it. I mean, picture that, Fortnite in movie theaters, actual Pixar level movie. Come on, that will make an absolute killing in the box office. Parents will take their kids to go see it because it's already established in their mindset. So those are other things that Fortnite is starting to make really big strategic move that's going to help establish them for long-term growth and long-term dominance, because Fortnite realizes that yes, they have captured the gaming audience right now. They're the biggest thing right now, but they don't know how long it's tenable. They don't know how long they'll be able to maintain that. So while they have a firm grip on the gaming scene, they're going to use that and leverage that to grow their appeal, not just in that arena but outside of that arena. And starting with, of course, allowing Sony to, or persuading Sony to enable crossplay, and that's gonna be pretty interesting. And I'm not surprised that Fortnite also has recently, I don't know if it was recently or if it like a couple months ago, but I was looking at that saying that Fortnite also has a PS4 bundle. Now, a PS4 bundle, of course, is also another way that Fortnite could actually start making money, is that working out a deal with Sony. But I wouldn't be surprised that PS4 bundle test sale that they did in Europe only did so well that Sony realized, okay, Fortnite is actually really helping to sell our console. Maybe if, you know, Fortnite works with us again on other upcoming Sony bundles for Christmas, which is what I'm thinking might be in the mix, we will allow them to do the whole crossplay with their games, testing it out first, because crossplay was already enabled. It's just Sony was blocking it. So if, you know, if Sony worked out a deal with Fortnite saying that we will allow crossplay if we work out some more Fortnite PS4 Pro bundle sale set, that you can only get these skins if you buy the PS4 Pro and a certain amount of V-Bucks, of course. And that's a really smart strategic partnership, because Fortnite is selling like hotcakes to kids. And what better way to secure, you know, your growth in the console market than to have specific skins for your console? You know, that's a good way to also kind of have some kind of loyalty to your system, and also make sure that nothing takes away from your potential lead in the console sale for Sony. So that's something that I think a lot of people should consider. And then, you know, with Fortnite also made Epic from an $800 million company to, from my tracking, it's gonna make Epic probably a $10 billion, if not more, dollar company. Not by the end of this year, but like within the next 8 months or so, if Fortnite keeps this pretty big pace. You know, because Fortnite itself, the game by itself alone, generates 3.8 billion since its inception. If you factor in all the other revenue that Epic has from their Unreal Engine, which is pretty big of, they also have other games outside of Fortnite, but Fortnite is definitely their main attention. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe most of, if not 90% of their employees are, or if not all by now, is working at Fortnite. So that says a lot. And the other thing that's really big with Fortnite too is that it's not just a game. It's also like, I feel like they're really good at creating events and spectacles that captures the attention of the gaming audience. Like, love or hate Fortnite, they are really good at their cinematics. I mean, and the thing about their cinematics too is that they are able to flex their game or change their game in such a way, in such a crazy way, that it's really hard for any other game to do that. Like even this thing I'm looking at right now, where there's a floating building in the middle of nowhere that distorts gravity. Like, how can any other game do something like that? It's like pretty almost impossible, you know. So that's things like that is what makes Fortnite, their flexibility is what makes it so interesting. So I'm pretty sure they're going to stay in early access indefinitely. Like, it makes no sense for them to leave early access, and I don't blame them. But things like that is what makes Fortnite such a large appeal, and the fact that they're now leveraging that appeal and that monetary aspect to make strategic partnership with Sony, and also influence them to actually do crossplay, and then also at the same time make, you know, help, you know, sell Sony systems with their PS4 exclusive skin. I'm sure they have Xbox exclusive skin, but at the end of the day, you know, they are probably banking that people will want to buy PS4 more than Xbox, because PS4 just has better games overall. But either way, whether you buy Xbox or PS4, Fortnite don't really care, because you're going to play on either system. But at least they're throwing Sony a bone by doing the whole PS4 bundle skin, you know. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably more than that. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe even like paid for like a strategic partnership with Sony, or if that's possible. I'm not sure right now, but, you know, we don't know the details as to why all of a sudden Sony now decides to enable crossplay. But I obviously feel like it's for no other reason than money. Like, plain and simple, because even under the previous reports where they said that Sony originally didn't want it because they monetarily speaking, they didn't want to give up their lead. But the only way somebody would consider, you know, giving up the lead is unless they're getting paid a lot of money, or they have like strategic partnership that benefits both Sony and Fortnite, which that whole PS4 bundle is one thing, but there might be other stuff too, you know, so you never know. But I just kind of want to give my take on that in terms of with the PS4 bundle sale, and then Sony now enabling crossplay. I feel like there's a lot of monetary aspect in the background that has shifted Sony to now consider it. How much money Sony might end up making from, you know, Epic and Fortnite swaying them, and also the strategic partnership, I don't know, but I imagine that it'd have to be a hefty amount, you know, because again, Fortnite sells a lot, so bundling that with a PS4, that could probably help sell a couple 100,000 units for Christmas, because Christmas is coming up. And if they time it just right with a strategic partnership, the Fortnite bundle with PS4 for Christmas, and a discount the price, that could probably sell, you know, Sony could again come out on top for top selling console for Christmas for the month of December, thanks to their Fortnite partnership. So that's something to keep in mind. We won't know the full details right now because it was just released, but as I'll be definitely following this as to figure out what exactly is coming out of this for Sony for enabling crossplay. What happened? Maybe we'll never know, but right now it's definitely speculative, and that's kind of where I want to look at it from a strategic partnership, like what made them change your mind. But either way, just want to bring that facts to you. Fortnite is on track to hit 3.8 billion by the end of this year, give or take. I'm curious to see where they're going to go and how much their growth is going to be affected by the end of December, to be honest. Either way, if you haven't checked out my other video about detailing the exact history and track of Fortnite and how they're on track to hit that 3.8 billion, go check out that video in the description before I leave a link for it. Either way, this is Red Kojak, your friendly neighborhood analyst, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.